All right, let's go. We're diving deep today into a match that had it all. Brazil versus Uruguay. World Cup 2026 qualifier.
Huge stakes.
Absolutely. This was way more than just getting a spot in the tournament.
Yeah, this one went way deeper. I mean,
Mm.
talking about a clash of titans.
It's just that
Decades of rivalry, all coming down to this.
couldn't have set it up any better. So, I mean, you can't really talk Brazil, Uruguay without bringing up, well, the elephant in the room, the Maracanazo,
Oh, man, 1950 World Cup final.
right there on their home turf.
A memory that still haunts Brazilian fans to this day. Can you imagine? That adds a whole other level of pressure to this match.
No kidding. Talk
Yeah.
about pressure. So let's look at the rosters here. Both teams brought some serious firepower.
No doubt. I mean, Brazil, always a stacked lineup. But what I found interesting was the mix
Yeah.
of seasoned veterans
Right.
and these young, hungry
Yeah,
up-and-comers.
for sure.
You got Neymar, the captain, leading the charge. But then alongside him, you got these rising stars like Rodrigo, Gabriel Martinelli. That's a potent mix.
Absolutely. And facing off against them, I mean, Uruguay brought their own heavy hitters.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about a dynamic duo, Federico Valverde and Darwin Núñez. Two players that can just flip a game on its head like that.
And the atmosphere, the Maracanã packed house.
Electric. Brazilian fans, you know how they are. They bring the energy every single time.
Mm-hmm.
But with this match, it was different. You could feel the anticipation. You could feel the hope. But there was also this underlying current, like almost anxiety. Like everyone knew that ghost of the Maracanazo was just lingering, just out of sight.
Wow. So the stage is set, high stakes, history on the line, a stadium buzzing with tension.
And then the match kicks off.
And right from the get-go, it was vintage Brazil. That samba magic was on full display.
It was a clinic. I mean, quick passing. The movement was so fluid. They were carving up the field, creating these chances, seemingly out of thin air. It was beautiful to watch.
And Neymar, the maestro.
Oh, yeah. He was pulling all the strings, just dictating the tempo, finding those pockets of space,
Yeah.
setting up his teammates. Some beautiful through balls. It was vintage Neymar.
And then, boom, Gabriel Martinelli, 27th minute, finds the back of the net. I bet the crowd went wild.
Oh, pandemonium. The place
Yeah.
erupted.
Yeah.
And the goal itself, it was just perfectly executed. A textbook example of that Brazilian attacking power. Neymar gets it started with his clever pass. Then it's just a flurry of quick 1-2s. And then pinpoint cross right to Martinelli, who heads it home, just like they drew it up.
But Uruguay, they're fighters. They didn't just fold after that goal.
No way. They showed some serious resilience.
Yeah.
No panic. They stuck to the game plan, and they started creating their own chances.
How so?
They were looking for those counterattacking opportunities. Exploit any little gap they could find in Brazil's defense. Their coach, Marcelo Bielsa, guy's a tactical genius. And you could see his fingerprints all over their play.
I mean, they weren't just sitting back absorbing pressure.
No. They were probing, looking to strike.
Yeah.
And they came close a couple of times, too. Really chested Allison.
So even though Brazil had a lot of the possession, Uruguay was still making them work for it.
Oh, absolutely. It was a tense first half.
Yeah.
Back and forth. I mean, going into halftime, you just knew something was going to give. You could cut the tension with a knife. The whole stadium just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and boy, did it. Uruguay came out a whole different team second half.
Like night and day? What happened? Did Bielsa, sprinkle some magic dust on them during the break?
Well, let's just say Bielsa, he's a master of those in-game adjustments. He's always thinking ahead.
So he saw something?
Oh, yeah. He saw that Brazil's right flank was a little exposed defensively. So what did he do? Told his guys to exploit that.
Interesting.
Yeah, they started pressing higher up the pitch, forcing Brazil into mistakes, winning the ball back quickly, and they shifted their style a bit too.
How so?
They went more direct, less playing through the midfield, more long balls to take advantage of Núñez's speed.
Smart. So they were targeting Brazil's weaknesses and really turning up the heat.
Exactly, and man, it paid off fast. 63rd minute, Valverde picks up the ball about 25 yards out, takes a touch, and unleashes this rocket.
Oh, man, I bet that was a beauty.
An absolute screamer past Allison, right into the back of the net, world-class goal, changed the whole momentum of the match.
I bet Brazilian fans were sweating bullets at that point. Talk about a flashback to the Maracanazo.
Oh, yeah, you could feel the tension in the air again. Uruguay riding high on that equalizer. Bielsa's tactics clicking. They almost took the lead just minutes later, too.
Yeah.
A close-range shot just missed.
So Brazil's really on the ropes now. How did they respond? What did Tite do?
Well, he made a big call. 75th minute subs and Vinicius Jr. for Richarlison. Got to shake things up.
Bold move. Vinicius Jr. has been on fire for Real Madrid. Was this like a, star power play?
Yeah, I think Tite knew he needed a spark. Vinicius Jr. is electric, amazing, dribbling, lightning fast.
Game changer for sure.
And he made an impact right away. Just wreaked havoc on Uruguay's defense, stretching them with his runs, forcing those errors.
And then it happens 87th minute, the turning point, Vinicius Jr. goes down in the box penalty.
Oh, yeah, that was a heart-stopping moment. The replay, well, it was a close one, maybe a little light contact, but the ref called it. Uruguay's players were fuming, but the decision stood.
One of those calls that could go either way, but it all came down to Neymar the hero.
The weight of Brazil on his shoulders, but,
Yeah.
Neymar, he lives for these moments. Steps up, cool as ice, slots that penalty past the keeper to Maracanã and erupts.
Classic Neymar, ice in his veins. Talk about a roller coaster, man. Those last few minutes, I bet they felt like an eternity.
Oh, man. The tension was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Uruguay throwing everything they had at Brazil, desperate for that equalizer.
Yeah, they almost got it too, right?
Oh, so close stoppage time. Darwin Nunez almost had it, that header.
Oh, man.
But Marquinhos' unbelievable block saved the day.
Talk about clutch Marquinhos stepping up when it mattered most. It seems like every time Brazil's backs are against the wall, their defense just finds a way.
That's the mark of a champion, that mental toughness. Being able to dig deep and withstand that pressure. Incredible.
Absolutely. So many stories in this match. Let's talk about some of the key players. Neymar, obviously, he was pulling the strings in that first half, and then that game-winning penalty. The guy just shines under pressure.
Yeah, Neymar, he's come a long way. He's not just that flashy individual talent anymore.
Yeah.
He's a true leader, a captain who inspires his team, dictates the flow of the game. He might not have had his flashiest performance this time, but man, his impact, undeniable.
For sure. What about Uruguay? Federico Valverde, he put on a clinic in the midfield. That goal was something else.
Valverde is the heart and soul of that team, man. He covers every inch of the pitch, never stops working, and then he just pulls out these moments of brilliance out of nowhere. Uruguay's engine, for sure.
And Vinicius Jr., got to talk about him coming off the bench, changing the game for Brazil, that spark they needed. And you could argue that his run led to that penalty.
Vinicius Jr., that's the future of Brazilian football right there. So much talent, so explosive, and he's already proving himself at the highest level.
Exciting to watch. So beyond those individual performances, any big takeaways from this match? What did we learn about these two teams?
Well, for Brazil, another hard-fought win, but it showed they've got some things to work on.
Like what?
That defense can be a little leaky sometimes, especially against those quick counterattacks. Alisson had some big saves, don't get me wrong, but he also had a couple of shaky moments.
Makes you think. So Uruguay, they prove they can hang with the best. Bielsa's got them playing with some real hunger, and that tactical discipline is there.
Definitely. They just got to find a way to finish those chances. Yeah, be a little more clinical in front of goal.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think this match just sums up what makes South American football so captivating. The passion, the drama, the tactical battles, the individual brilliance, it all comes together for a truly unforgettable spectacle.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that wraps up our deep dive into this thriller of a match, Brazil versus Uruguay. We saw it all: world-class goals, controversial calls, a nail-biting finish that kept us on the edge of our seats. It's these kind of matches that remind us why we love the beautiful game. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.